And I gotta answer this text. As I mentioned before, we're always innovating, and one of the ways that we can do that is we recently put in trucks for parts. Listen, you're never going to put in every single part and piece. If you're salvaging a vehicle, you're never going to put every part and piece into TPI. It's just too much work, and those little pieces they may not be worth that much. And so the majority of our customers go and put the big components in. So what happens to all those little parts? We call those little parts gravy parts, because my dad had this theory that you buy the truck for the engine. In those days, you bought it for the engine. Now you have to include the transmission and differentials. But he bought it for what he could sell the engine for. He said everything else on that truck is gravy. So that's where I came up with this gravy parts idea. So the gravy parts are all the little parts and pieces really that are 100% profit, because you've bought the truck for the main componentry. We're very busy in the industry, and the people with the truck parts knowledge don't have time to go in and put every part and piece on the system. It's just not feasible. And so the trucks for parts and the gravy parts are really integral. And of course, the other reason is that when you put the truck in and then you start taking those gravy parts off, like engine motor mounts and cross members and things like that, as you're invoicing, you're allocating all that money back to the truck. So it gives you better data when you go to do your buying on the buying side, when you're buying the trucks at auction, or you're buying the trucks from insurance adjuster. Let's say, for example, if you take a Peterbilt or a Kenworth, those tend to be higher value items, and so there may be a lot of extra money in the gravy parts. If you can factor all those extra things in, then maybe you can afford to pay a little bit more on that truck and get a better quality piece of salvage that you know that you can sell more out of. And then the other thing too is avoiding the pieces of salvage that you can't sell anything out of. If something's just a boat anchor that's going to be sitting in your yard for 2, 3, 4 years, and you're not turning the money, that's a killer to your cash flow, right? Because then you've bought this piece of salvage for conceivably a lot of money, and then it's just sitting in your yard and you're not selling anything off of it. That cash can't be used to buy something that moves quicker.